on the other hand, you say, okay, fine, maybe being a celebrity is not good, but at the same token, you can't deny the fact that there is physical pleasure. There is physical pleasure from having certain things. There is physical pleasure from being certain ways, and so on and so forth. Now, for all of these young girls that are out there, or even older women that are out there that want to be or act like they are already one of these celebrities, one of these people that is constantly looking for attention, listen very closely. Listen very closely, because I'm about to talk to you. But I'm going to talk to you by talking to the men right now. Now, the guys that are out there, what do they want? They want the money. Why do they want the money? Because they want the power. Why do they want the power? Because they think that if they have the money, they'll have the power, and therefore the power will give them the girl. Which girl? Any girl. Simple. Any girl. What about getting married? Oh yeah, we'll get married too. But also maybe the secretary, maybe the this, maybe the that, all that stuff. Okay. How could Rabbi Akiva get to such a point that he's so disgusted by that behavior that he threw up? Yet you want to be one of those people that is as promiscuous as can be. How could it be? How could there be such a difference between two people? Because you think that to be with that girl will give you physical pleasure, and you don't really think about anything else. What else should you be thinking about? Well, let's see. If the girl that you found in some nightclub or some store or wherever you found some garbage pail, and you got her to give herself to you and to be able to act like a husband and wife, even though you're going to throw her out moments after you end your pleasure, or perhaps you're going to pretend like you're going to be with her by dating her for a few months, or perhaps you're going to, pretend like you're dating her while dating for several other women, thinking you're the only smart one. The truth is, though, if she gave you pleasure, that means that she's just like you. That means that just like you're looking for physical pleasure, so is she. And just like you don't want to be with her all the time, she doesn't want to be with you all the time. Guess what? It's much easier for her to find a partner than it is for you typically. And guess what? When she comes to you and you think, I'm Mr. Macho, all you're really doing is cleaning up the filth that another man left moments before you. That's the reality. That is the reality. You are simply cleaning the filth of 1, 2, or however many dozen of people she has enjoyed herself with also, because she's an animal just like you. That's what you're doing. One of the most disgusting things you can possibly imagine is for one manly man to ever even think that another man's seed, another man's filth would ever touch him. It's not only touching him, it's on top of him, and it becomes part of him. Why? Because that's where she was moments before she was with you. She's simply like the village bicycle. Everybody gets to use it. She's like used property, and you are klisheni. You're like the second tool. She had this, now she has you, and maybe moments later she'll come back to something else. What, you think you're the only smart one that knows how to pleasure himself? No, she knows it too. And guess what? You're probably not as great as you think you are. You're just simply filling a void until the next opportunity comes, until the next appointment comes, until the next guy that's gonna wine and dine her and make her feel like she's pretty, until he comes. And that's the reality in life. All of the young men that like to go out to clubs and find a girl, take her home and feel like, hey, high five, yeah, I got her. Yeah, she got you, buddy. She got you, and him, and you just won one of the appointments. She's simply a free prostitute. And you, my friend, are in a bed with 3 different people, not one. You're with 3 different people. Now you think I'm making this up because I used to be secular? No, it's in the Gemara. It's in the Gemara, Rabotai. This is not Yaron Reuven. This is the Gemara. Rabotai Yekarim, The Gemara says some of the most horrific things you can possibly imagine that go on in society today as if it's standard. As if it is standard, Rabotai. The Gemara in Masechet Pesachim, page 112a, says a person that's a divorcee should not marry another divorcee while a husband is alive. If he's divorced, why shouldn't he marry a divorced woman while a husband is still alive? Because when they are in bed, there are 4 people. When the divorced man and the divorced woman, they're together, there's 4 people in bed. Why 4 people? He's thinking about his ex-wife. She's thinking about her ex-husband. So there's 4 people. He is cleaning the filth of her ex-husband left. She is also doing the same thing with her. Same exact thing. There's 4 people in the bed, Rabotai Karim. And guess what? The part where I said you're not all that, that's also in the Gemara. It continues. Also, you should know that she may end up resenting him. Why resenting him? She date him, marry him, she's met him in a club, she calls him I love you, I poopies, tooties, no, what, how come? Because not all fingers are the same, the Gemara says. Not all fingers are the same is a euphemism for the male member. She doesn't think that your finger is the same thing as the guy that was right before you. That's what it is. But you did clean up the mess though. This, Rabotai, is what happens when you treat yourself like an animal. You find animals. You treat yourself like an animal, HaKadosh Baruch Hu matches you with animals. And just so you know, this is not the only place in the Gemara. The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin, page 22b, says that a virgin woman, a woman that's virgin, it's holy, it's Kedusha, but if she becomes one of these filthy human beings and starts becoming promiscuous and so on, you should know what comes with it. What comes with it? You are what? Guy number 6, 8, 15, 12. Oh, she liked you. She told you you're only guy number 2. Maybe 2 this week. But that's what she told you at the club, or at the pub, or at the whatever you met her, or at the Jewish gathering for Shidduch. That's what she told you. You're only guy number 2. Okay, Habibi. Just so you know, forget about the fingers not being all the same. Forget about the fact that there was 4 people in bed, but there's also probably 5. Why? The original guy. Gemara says in Masechet Sanhedrin, page 22b, a woman never forgets the first man that she was ever with. Never forgets him. Not never forgets him like, oh, I miss him. Oh, no. The first time, that time, the first person, always on her mind. Always during that time, oh, I remember him, maybe he's like him, maybe he's like him. Habibi, you're not him. And she is thinking of him. Why? Because you want to act like an animal. She wants to act like an animal. Here you go. You got a zoo together. Now you have already a half a zoo, 5 animals in one bed. This, Rabotai, is not it. It's not it. A person needs to understand that when they act like an animal, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives them an animal type of life. An animal type of life that is literally a disaster, that produces disasters. What kind of disasters? Many people like to frown at the Kabbalah teachings where it says that when you make a sin and you die, part of the tikkun of the sin is to be reincarnated, perhaps with some type defect or so on. If you didn't watch your eyes, perhaps you'll come back to life blind, and so on. If you said Lashon Hara, you'll come back autistic. And people try to make a whole big thing of it when Rav Mizrahi said it years ago, as if it's a new teachings, as if it's only in the Kabbalah. It's not only in the Kabbalah. It's in the Gemara. It's in the Gemara, Rabotai. It's in the Gemara, Ribono Shel Olam. It's in the Gemara. What does the Gemara say? What does the Gemara say? Gemara, Masechet Nedarim, page 28. Says a few things. First and foremost, you should know, you like to talk to girls? V'al tarbe sicha im isha shesofach lavo lidei niuf. You like to talk to girls, you have a girlfriend and so on, for sure you're going to sin. For sure you're going to come to lewdness. For sure you're going to end up wasting seed, promiscuity, immorality. There's no such thing as platonic relationship in Judaism. Second, You don't think that's enough? Okay, fine. Anyone who looks at women, likes to look at girls on the internet, in real life, and so on, for sure will have kids that are not of good character. Your kids are going to call you by your first name. Your kids are going to yell at you. Your kids will disrespect you. Why? You don't watch your eyes. You have a spiritual defect. HaKadosh Baruch Hu pays for that with a defect in your kids. Now that's not enough, right? Gemara says that a person that wants to be a holy Jew has to become embarrassed of such things, embarrassed of them. But he's not. So comes Rabbi Yochanan ben Davai. Rabbi Yochanan ben Davai says, the ministering angels told me 4 things. There are lame people. Why are there lame people? People that born paraplegic because of the mipnei shofchim shulchanam, because people that overturn the table, the Gemara says, using euphemisms for all types of inappropriate behavior, immorality. Why are there mute people? Mipnei shemenashkim al oto makom, because they kiss that place. Why are there people that are both mute and deaf? Mipnei shemesaprim b'sha'at tashmish, because they converse at the time of cohabitation. Why are there blind people? Because they gaze at that place. Meaning, Rabotai Yekarim, the Gemara says, we're not even talking about looking at pornography and wasting seed. Simply living a life addicted to physicality, addicted to that type of thing, produces all of the defects that you see in the world, all of the defects that you see in the world that are very difficult to deal with. Now, of course, sometimes those people that come to the world are special neshamot of tzaddikim, not reshaim. Doesn't make their parents' life any easier. But not all of them are tzaddikim. Not all of them are holy. Some of them are pure, some of them not necessarily. But needless to say, why do the parents get them? The parents get them because they were not holy. The parents get them because they were trying to be like the people they see in a pornography film, trying to be like the people they see in some Hollywood film. They try to play acrobatic. They try to do all these different things with different people in different ways, and different filthy, animalistic behavior. Kadosh Baruch Hu says, you want to be an animal? Okay, well, I don't want you to be an animal, so I have to keep you busy in a different way. I want to keep you busy in a different way. So, Rabotai Karim, you have to think about it this way. Are you going to admire a filthy, disgusting disgrace of a human being like Madonna that has literally been with enough people to build an army? That's what you want to be like? That's who you admire? You want your daughter to be like her? Or all of the people that follow her, all of the modern day singers, you want her to dance like them and be promiscuous like them and have 5 or 10 or 20 or 50 husbands? That's what you want? You want to clean the filth of another guy for the rest of your life because you're a filthy human being? You're admiring a woman that's being raped by people on a screen? That's what you admire? You want to be there? You want to be the rapist? You filthy disgrace of a human being for that moment? That's what you admire? That's what you want to be like? You're watching pornography? Do you know that most of the pornography out there, it's not the intimacy as a result of her wanting it? Sometimes you'll actually see things on the internet that are actual rape, but they portrayed as if it's out of her wanting it? That's what you want to be like? You want to be a rapist? You want to be a pedophile? That's who you admire? You have to think about this. Because if that's what you admire, you can rest assured you're going to have a kid like this. You're going to have a boy that wants to be a girl. You're going to have a girl that wants to be a guy. You're going to have a girl that has 50 husbands. You're going to have a boy that is addicted to pornography like some of the young men that I've had the pleasure of helping, but it's a very big job. Very big job. It's a lot of work, but some of the men that I met, literally, when I met them, they were so addicted. They were so addicted to wasting seed and immorality that some of the physical ramifications of that addiction started happening in their life. Losing hair, becoming smelly, becoming disgusting and sweaty, literally looking like they have a disease. I've met these young men, and Baruch Hashem, most of them I've succeeded in helping to get them out of that tumah. You want to be one of those people? You are one of those people. You're admiring a woman. You're admiring a guy that's raping a woman. You're admiring a man that's full of filth. He's full of tum'ah. That's what you want to be like? Aren't you ashamed of yourself? You should be. And that, Rabotai, is what a person needs to know. That's what he needs to know about all of that disgusting world that he's admiring. If you're talking about money and power, it comes with a lot of baggage, because all of the people that are giving you, that desire to have this money and power, I just read you off a small microcosm of the list. A small microcosm of that list, but you'll find it in all of these celebrities. Endless amount of them are pedophiles. Hollywood has a pedophile ring, a well-known pedophile ring, which we even know somebody that unfortunately went into that young boy and never came out. Never came out, was taken by these people, never came out. No one knows if he's dead, if he's alive, who knows. I even have a former classmate that was part of that filthy, disgusting world of politicians, and was one of the boyfriends of the politicians. Mysteriously drowned. Expert diver, mysteriously drowns. It's like saying a fish drowned. Rabotai Karim, who are you admiring? Shlomo HaMelech says, Ish lefi ma'alalo, Ish lefi ma'alalo. A person is who he admires. You're admiring these filthy prostitutes. You're admiring these filthy, disgusting pedophiles. You're admiring these vicious, arrogant people that destroy lives. Or perhaps you're admiring that woman that has the filth of countless men inside her. Or perhaps you want to be the man that's one of those filthy people. Which one is it? The only way, Rabotai Karim, the only way to avoid all of the disgusting, vile things that I've said over the last hour is by being what HaKadosh Baruch Hu said in Parashat Kedoshim. Kedoshim tiyu ki kadosh ani. You be holy because I am holy. How are we holy? The Gemara in Masechet Shabbat says, Am Yisrael Kedoshim em. Am Yisrael is holy. Why? Because even when it comes to their intimacy with their own wives, it's at night, it's in modesty, so the walls don't even see them. So no one even thinks about such a thing, of recording such things, of acting in such filthy, animalistic ways, because that's the ways of the animals. We are holy, we are tzaddikim, we are Kadosh Baruch Hu's people, and everybody can be like this. Everybody can be holy by stopping first being animalistic. That's the first step. It's the first step. How do you stop being animalistic? Know who the animal is and do everything the opposite. This, Rabotai Karim, is a little bit food for thought, very different than a lot of the shurim that we've done, simply to show you what people literally lose their world in this world and the next world over. She is looking like a prostitute celebrity because she wants to be like one, even though she will never be like one. But she's losing this world, she's losing her marriage, she's losing the respect of her children, she's losing blessing from Hashem, and she's losing Olam Haba. All because she wants to be like some prostitute that is here today, gone tomorrow. He, the same thing, thinks that he's going to enjoy this world, have a good time, go on vacation without his wife, maybe find a girlfriend for a day or two. He loses this world and he loses the next world. Why? Because he acted like an animal. But if a person wants to be holy, HaKadosh Baruch Hu says holiness begins with the way we express our sensuality, with the way we express our intimacy in a holy way, with the way we protect our eyes, with the way we protect our speech, with the way we protect our mind, with what we admire, with what we look up to. That is how it all begins. If you admire filthy, disgusting people, that's who you will become, and that's who your kids will become. If you admire the tzaddikim, that's who you can become. There's no way you can become a tzaddik without admiring tzaddikim. And there's no way you can become a tzaddik as long as you admire the filthy people of society. This, Rabotai, is a very critical teaching that a person needs to literally visualize the filth that he's admiring. Hence the reason why I had to get rabbinical permission to say some of the things that I said today. And Baruch Hashem, I got it. It's important for a person to know that all of what I said is in the Torah, and it's one of the most important things that a person needs to understand in order to stop admiring the filth. Stop admiring the filth of society. Because as long as you admire money, admire everything that comes with it, then you can say, no, I just admire that he has a lot of money. No, Habibi. You admire what he has as a result of money. And you're not realizing that behind the scenes, there's so much baggage. There's so much baggage that it literally creates tumah. It's a factory of impurity. You have to admire the righteous people if you want to be righteous. You have to admire them and you have to be like them. Whether Hashem decides to make you wealthy, married, house full of kids or not, all the results are in the hands of Hashem. But our actions lead Him to decide what the results are. This, Rabotai Karim, is a very critical, fundamental teachings that is necessary for each one of us to repeat once in a while when our mind is infected by some of this impurity of the world, because it seems like this world is just getting more and more impure by the day, and if we don't start being clear with what we need to do in order to protect ourselves, everything else is in